How to Start Your Retirement Plan with Zero Overwhelm, Beginner-Friendly Guide. If the idea of retirement planning feels overwhelming, confusing, or like something you've waited too long to start, you're not alone. Most people feel intimidated because they believe retirement planning requires perfect numbers, complicated math, or expert-level financial knowledge. But the truth is that you can start planning your retirement in a simple, calm, beginner-friendly way, without pressure, without spreadsheets, and without trying to predict the future. In this video, we're going to walk through the simplest possible path to begin your retirement plan today. This method focuses on clarity first, not complexity, so you can build confidence quickly, no matter your age or starting point. Let's start with the real reason retirement planning feels so difficult. For most people, the pressure comes from believing you have to understand everything at once. You're told to save a certain amount by a certain age, to calculate your investment returns, to track inflation, to know the exact year you want to retire, and to follow dozens of rules. But none of that is necessary in the beginning. The reason it feels hard is because you're trying to jump several steps ahead. Imagine trying to read a book but starting in the middle. No wonder the story doesn't make sense. Retirement planning works the same way. You don't start with advanced projections. You start by understanding where you are right now. The truth is that 80% of retirement clarity comes from 4 simple pieces: what you spend, what you earn, what you have, and when you might want to stop working. Everything else comes later. The first piece, and honestly the most important, is understanding your lifestyle cost. This is not a detailed budget. It's simply what a normal month costs you to live your life. Why is this so important? Because your retirement lifestyle will almost always look like a version of your current lifestyle. People don't suddenly wake up and spend in completely different ways at age 65. They continue eating the same foods, living in similar spaces, paying similar utilities, and maintaining similar habits. So instead of trying to imagine your future 10, 20, or 30 years ahead, start with your life today. Think about what you usually pay for housing, food, transportation, insurance, healthcare, and personal spending. You don't need exact numbers. Rough estimates work. If someone asked you, what does your life cost each month? You could answer with a reasonable guess, and that number is enough to begin. The second step is looking at what income you'll likely have in retirement. This is easier than people think because retirement income usually comes from just a few places. Here are the main categories: Social Security or pensions, savings or retirement accounts, part-time or flexible work, and other personal or family income. You don't need exact amounts, you simply need to know what income sources exist. For example, you may not know your Social Security amount, but you probably know you worked long enough to qualify. You may not know your retirement account balances exactly, but you know where they are. You may be unsure about working part-time later, but you can list it as a possibility. Retirement income is about structure before it is about numbers. Once you know the pieces, filling in the details becomes much easier. This is where many people get stuck because they feel overwhelmed by the number of accounts they've opened throughout their life. Old workplace plans, savings accounts, IRAs, 401ks, investment accounts, credit union accounts, they add up. But here's the simple fix. Just write down every account you remember. No logging in, no passwords, no statements, just the list. A simple list lowers overwhelm almost instantly. Instead of trying to hold all those accounts in your mind where they feel heavy, you move them onto paper. This gives you structure, clarity, and control. You can refine the details later. For now, the important thing is knowing what exists. This one step alone has helped thousands of people feel calmer about retirement planning. Retirement advice tells you to pick an exact retirement age, But this creates unnecessary pressure. Instead, choose a range. There are two ages you need: your earliest realistic retirement age and your most confident retirement age. Your earliest age is the point where your income might start covering your lifestyle cost, at least partially. Your most confident age is where you feel financially stable and secure. The space between these two ages becomes your retirement window. This window creates flexibility. It removes all or nothing thinking. It helps you see your options clearly without locking you into a single date. And as your clarity grows, your window becomes more precise. If you complete these 4 steps, knowing your lifestyle cost, estimating your retirement income, listing your accounts, and identifying your retirement timeline range, you have already built the foundation of your retirement plan. You now have more clarity than many people who have been planning for years without actually understanding their numbers. Retirement planning doesn't begin with calculators, projections, or perfect data. It begins with clarity. And clarity always starts with simple steps, not complicated ones.